Welcome to the Emotionally Baked podcast, where emotions and baking are the two most perfect ingredients. Hello, and welcome back to the Emotionally Baked podcast, where we talk about our emotions, all while baking something yummy in the hopes of working it out. So thank you so much for joining me today. Probably don't need my glasses. Since I'm just talking essentially to myself, but all of y'all, and I don't have to focus too much. Anyways, y'all, this is episode 52, which means sort of, I don't know how, yes, it's a year, so 52 weeks in a year. So I've done this for 52 weeks. It doesn't fall exactly on the year mark when I started, but we're going to celebrate it anyways. 52 is, we'll say it's a year. We've been doing this a year. I cannot believe it. And hence the title, 1 year, and we're going to make an oatmeal crumble. So this recipe, I will put where I got it from in the description below. It is simple though. It is oats, flour, brown sugar, cinnamon, and cold butter. And this one, I just wanted to have like a recipe to have documented that is a good go-to for whenever you need an oatmeal crumble. And let me tell you, having an oatmeal crumble recipe on hand is such a good thing. I will actually probably write this one down in my trusty cookbook because I need a good handy dandy one, because I want oatmeal crumbles for a lot of things. Sometimes I do it on top of a pie. Sometimes I put it on top of cupcakes if I'm making certain cupcakes. Sometimes I put it on top of cobblers and different seasons when they come about. And I just want to make something like that. That's what I use it for. And so it's really good to, and you can also make it to put like on top of ice cream. I don't know if you've ever just indulged and done that. That is super yummy. So yeah, I'm making the crumble for some sort of dessert I'm doing tonight. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. I probably will do some sort of like fruit base to have like an apple crumble or a fruit crumble type of dessert. Oatmeal crumble type of dessert. Just something warm because it's still a little chilly. So no cakes this evening or something cold. I wanted something nice and warm and yummy. So as we do this recipe, we're going to talk about this year, this whole 1 year of podcasting and what it's felt like, what it's been like. And thank you so much if you've been here this entire year listening. It means so much to me. I don't have a ton of followers, and that's okay. But if you're watching, if you could like and subscribe, that would be great, because it just helps to, get everything out there. So yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about today, because this is super easy. So I'm going to just be dumping my ingredients in. So I've got my 1 cup of oats, and I don't know where to put my cup. I have so much on my counter. I have half a cup of flour. Oop. Come on. Why isn't it coming out? There we go. And I needed half a cup of brown sugar. I'm going to mix brown sugar and white sugar because I want to make cookies later and I need my brown sugar. I don't have a ton. And I didn't realize that I was running out when I went to the grocery store. So we're going to do half. We're going to do a quarter of each. It'll be fine. So, and just remember, brown sugar is just white sugar with molasses. And I have made my own brown sugar before. We've done that on here. So that's been one thing that we've done special on the podcast, is we've kind of problem solved when we don't have certain ingredients, or we need to just make something up. Right, I have tea. Still gotta stay warm. It is so cold. All right, I'm gonna reach for my white sugar and put that in here. And I'm gonna be using a pastry blender to put this all together so that it's nice and crumbly. And what's gonna bind it and bring it together, now I'm gonna put my cinnamon in. Ooh! I'm gonna put my cinnamon in, is the cold butter. And usually when we do toppings like this, because you can do different types of toppings. Streusel toppings, a streusel topping, you wouldn't have the oats. You would just have more flour, and yeah, it would just be flour, butter, sugars, and cinnamon if you want that. An oat topping has the oats, duh. So I'm just gonna use my pastry blender and just mix that up. And the cold butter is going to make it the crumble. So we're gonna do that in a sec. So what have I learned and what have I, come across this year of podcasting? Let's see. I've learned that I can stick to something and keep doing it. I have learned that I really do enjoy talking my emotions out, and whether or not somebody's listening to me or not, it's okay. I just like talking it out. I like talking it out and working through it and using my hands and my to as I'm making here, it really helps me to get feelings out and things like that. So that's one big thing that I've learned. Another thing is I've learned that I can be creative, even more so than I had been before. Learning how, and then I can learn new things. I had to learn how to, I am just cutting my butter into little pieces and putting it into my bowl. I learned how to make like banners for YouTube. I learned how to make icons. I learned how to make screen, like different things. I've learned how to embed into my website. I've learned how to do so many things that I didn't realize that I needed to know before getting started on the podcast. And I learned how to extract audio from video to do my Spotify, and I've learned how to make different files, to upload different places, and it's definitely been a learning curve, but I am just happy that I've been able to figure it out and to do all this fun stuff, and which is why I'm adding the book section and then the plant section after that in the summer. So I'm super excited to just keep doing what I'm doing and growing, and if I don't grow in technical followers and things, at least I know that I'm growing. I'm growing myself. I'm learning to do new things, hard things. Is something I think that we all should strive for, just learning all the new stuff. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my pastry blender and I'm just gonna mix into the flour and the oats that I have. And I'm gonna keep my knife on handy so I can, on hand, so I can scrape this off and clean it off as I need to, because it will get stuck. So yeah, so it's been a super fun year to kind of see what I can do, and to see how I've grown in that aspect. And I think I'll be bold enough to say that the reason that this podcast was the reason why I am able to, or am currently able to publish my book. is that it gave me the courage. It gave me the strength to say, look what you did, or look what you have done. You've put out 52 podcasts, and you've, kept up on your social media. You might not be popular. That's okay. We're not searching for popularity here. We're searching for helping others. And yeah, and look what you did. Look what you can do. And you are, maybe you can help others through, your writing as well. And I think that's what helped me so much. Doing the podcast gave me confidence to say, you know what? Nobody's paying attention. Or I feel like sometimes like nobody's paying attention to me. Like I could do it. Like, some people get confident from, because they have, I'm just stirring this up a little bit just to get and this is what it's starting to look like. So it just looks like a blobby mess. Totally fine. And I'm just using my knife to kind of help the situation here, because I want it to be this crumbly, globby stuff. So I'm going to clean this out so don't waste anything. So yeah, sometimes people are confident when they have like a lot of, I don't want to say support, because support's good. That is good, but like a lot, like maybe if they're popular on social media, then they're like, oh, okay, well, I'm popular on social media, I can do this and whatever. And I will say, I'm not a confident person. If I had a large following on social media, I think I would become an introvert, because I would be nervous and I would be scared, and then I wouldn't be confident anymore. And I would just say to myself, oh no, like now I have all these eyes on me. So the confidence comes in the fact that nobody's watching. Because I'm like, nobody's watching, I can do it. Like not that nobody cares, but just that, the less eyes, I feel like. And sometimes people will say, well, I don't do it because there's nobody watching. And the fact that I have an opposite thing, I'll do it, nobody's watching. I think it speaks to my, there's a little introvertness in all of us. Like I can sit here and talk on my phone and talk to nobody, talk to myself, and I'm totally fine. And I'm still saying I'm an introvert, because like in bigger situations, I'd be like, I could just kind of not do anything. And I just, sit on the wayside. All right, so we have our crumble, and it literally just looks like just a crumbly, mishmashed mess. But what happens is that this cold butter binding with the oats and the flour and the sugars and the cinnamon, it will create this, because it's not, because you don't want the butter melted, because you want the butter to kind of like, it makes this, the little balls of flour and sugars that it holds onto, and it makes, when it bakes it, when you put it on top of whatever you're doing, the heat and everything bakes it into these like little just nuggets of just joy. Nuggets of joy. I don't know what else to call it. They're just so good when it's like baked like that. If you melted the butter and it was like more of a runny consistency, it would just kind of, it would just kind of like make more of a solid surface. It would still, I think, be crispy, but it would just be more solid instead of like these crumbly bits. And I am a big texture gal. So, and it's funny because like in clothing, I have to be like super soft, but in like foods, give me a sprinkle, give me like a crumbly chocolate chip, give me an oatmeal crumble. Give me something a little crunchy on top of, so, oh, it's just so good. I don't know why I love like a little doot on top. I don't know what to call it. A little flourish on top. I just love it so much. It's just, yeah. All right, so what I think I'm gonna do is come up with something to put this in on top of for tonight, because that'll be really good. And yeah, make sure to get a picture of that once we're finished. And let me see, any more about this year? Let me think. So this year we've baked a lot. This year we have talked about a ton of emotions. We've really ranged our topics. We've gotten a lot of I feel like yummy recipes under our belt and to add to our cookbooks, and a lot of little tips and tricks, I think, and that's been fun. I think what I'm going to try to do is I was really not scared, maybe I shouldn't be scared, but I was a little cautious to film if I had big mess ups in the kitchen. And maybe I'm thinking about like, okay, maybe I should keep bloopers, like have like bloopers. I'll look to see if I can put any at the end of this. I don't know, because I usually cut out a lot when I'm editing and I don't save those clips. So, but maybe in the new podcast year, I'll save some of the oopsies. I actually made something this week for, what did I make? Now I can't think of what I made, because did the baklava have that I made last week? Something had vanilla in it that I made, and I pulled out my vanilla from the pantry right here. And the lid I hadn't screwed on totally tight from the previous time, and I just grabbed it by the lid, which was wrong of me to do, and I dropped my entire bottle of vanilla on the floor. And the vanilla went everywhere. It went all over my cabinets, it went all over me, it went all over the floor. And so right now it does really smell nice in here, but yeah, I mean, I cleaned it, but you know, vanilla, it'll last for a while. So I didn't record that. I wasn't recording anything, so, but oopsies do happen in here in this kitchen. So maybe I'll do that sometime. I'll do some bloopers. All right, so thank you so much if you've been here this entire year, sharing in the up emotions, the down emotions, the in-between emotions, all the things. And going into the new podcast year, look for just some more addition to the podcast. We will talk about emotions through reading, emotions through planting, emotions still through baking. And I'm just so excited that you're here for it. No matter how small this audience is, that's okay. We're doing it. So whether the salt in your recipe comes from tears or a teaspoon, just remember, we baked it out. Have a good one. So I decided to go ahead and make an apple berry crumble. So I mixed some apple pie filling with some frozen berries that I had in my freezer. Just gave that a mix and a stir and added the crumble to the top. And just loving how this is going to turn out already. Went ahead and put that in the oven and baked until the top was golden brown. There you go.